in infectious diseases. Ava Akers, Kiki Adams, Kyla Gabbard, Neri Quinte, Alexa Kaminsky, Alexa Lockhart. Bacteria, viruses, and parasites are all microbes that can cause infectious diseases. Bacteria attaches to a host cell, invades it, and begins reproducing. As they multiply, they colonize and spread to other cells. Viruses attach to receptors on the host cell, penetrate it, and replicate inside. These new viral particles then spread to other cells. Parasites enter the host and migrate to specific cells where they reproduce, continuing to spread throughout the host. Despite their differences, all three can disrupt the body's normal functioning and cause illness. Climate change is increasing the spread of infectious diseases by expanding the range of disease-carrying vectors like mosquitoes and ticks into new areas. Warmer temperatures, extreme weather, and changing ecosystems are creating ideal conditions for diseases such as malaria. Additionally, longer transmission seasons and altered animal migration patterns are introducing new risks, while closer human-wildlife interactions increase the potential for new diseases. Together, these factors are not only evolving disease transmission, but also facilitating the emergence of new infectious agents.
The host-pathogen relationship. Pathogens are carried by vectors. Vectors may feed on an infected host and then spread that pathogen to a new host when feeding again. The impact of increasing temperatures. Warmer temperatures can enhance breeding and biting rates of mosquitoes and ticks, leading to the spread of diseases like malaria and Lyme disease. Warmer temperatures can also speed up the process of pathogen development in mosquitoes and ticks, which can increase the frequency that the diseases are transmitted. The metabolic theory of ecology is the idea that the increase in temperature can increase metabolic rates, which can impact growth, reproduction, and survival of hosts and pathogens. Predicting host pathogen response to climate warming. The metabolic theory of ecology can be used to build predictive models showing the correlation between temperature and metabolic rates in order for scientists to see theoretical changes in diseases based on climate. This allows for the observation of increasing temperature due to climate change effects in the increase in transmission of disease.
Climate change has been known to result in an undesired change to ecosystems that often leads to a rise of disease, loss in species, and forced adaptations. An example of this includes the emergence of new pathogens along the Caribbean region, which have led to a decline in ecosystem-wide species. This is a prime example of how climate change's effects on keystone species often leads to a negative effect on the whole ecosystem, and more importantly, disturbing the natural cycle of said system. Loss of keystone species can lead to a loss of biodiversity and promote predator and prey imbalances. Like stated in earlier slides, a change in keystone species often leads to an undesired change of the nutritional cycle. This change often leads to malnutrition as a result of food unavailability, increased greenhouse gas emissions, and possible extinction of certain species.
Microbial communities. A commensal microbe is a microorganism that benefits from its relationship with a host organism without causing any harm to the host. A mutualistic microbe is a microorganism where both the microbe and the host benefit from their interaction with each other. The effects of warmer temperatures on the diversity and function of commensal or mutualistic microbes can promote pathogen growth and pest outbreaks. Effects of biodiversity loss. For many diseases of humans, wildlife, and plants, biodiversity loss at local or regional scales can increase rates of pathogen transmission.
Phenology is ultimately described as the events that happen periodically in lifestyles biologically. Some trends that we tend to see, specifically in migration, is the process of moving to higher elevations or latitudes, but also specifically warmer climates because they have sensitivity towards climate change. Some phenological changes in pathogens are earlier disease transmission due to warmer temperatures, infectious stage developing faster, and longer transmission seasons due to pathogens staying alive longer. Climate change effects on developmental stages are longer survivals of pathogens and vectors, and pathogens developing faster. Consequences for conservation and human health. Due to an increased interaction of people and animals that are infected, many diseases can come from these animals. There is also a risk of more waterborne pathogens, which could affect things such as the seafood we consume. Some societal complications include possible food insecurity, economic consequences, specifically in agriculture, and strain on healthcare. Forecasting and modeling plays an important role in preventing and predicting outbreaks related to wildlife and disease.
Outlook and future challenges. Mechanistic models link environmental drivers to disease dynamics, predicting pathogen responses to climate change. Climate change impacts disease risks differently across systems, with clear effects in immobile organisms than in mobile species or human disease. Climate-disease interactions amplify climate change impacts by affecting food security, water resources, and global health.